Hello my sunbeams, it's me, Icarus, and today I'm reading Revelation for Lovers by ThatRatCharliee on AO3. The rating is teen and up audiences and no archive warnings apply. This is an absolute crack fic, it's meant to be funny, jokes, this is April Fool's, I hope you guys enjoy it. This is the summary. How dare he, after all that time together, Jason had disappeared for years, and then once he finally found out where his boyfriend was living, all this time he had found out Jason was cheating on him. Or, after many years of longing, Stapler finally finds out that Jason was alive, and was with someone new, a brick. And onto the fic. Stapler had always remembered Jason. From the first kiss at just 2 years old, he had fallen deeply in love with him. Whenever Stapler slept, he dreamed of those electric blue eyes that seemed so carefree and happy. But he had hurt Jason, stapling through his lips, their kiss too passionate. From that day, they could only talk to each other from the distance of an office desk. Stapler placed too far up to see Jason, but he could hear the nonsensical babbling and the crying. Dahlia and Mrs. Grace shouting matches were a common occurrence, but one day it was taken outside to the garage. His boyfriend carried away with them. That was the last time Stapler had ever seen Jason. Looking back on the day, he had always wished that he could have done something, anything, to stop him from leaving, from being taken away, before they could even have gone on a second date. After that fateful day, Stapler had stopped at nothing to keep searching for his one love. But after years of turning up with no leads and no hope, he had given up. Until one day, when he was talking to a close friend, who was a messenger eagle for a legion, though they had never really talked about their work, except for today. The eagle, Emery, spoke up. Former praetor Jason is visiting with his ex-girlfriend Piper, who is Greek if you can believe it. I don't know how he can put up with a Greek, let alone date one. Jason stilled at the mention of his beloved. Jason? Emery nodded their head eagerly. Feathers falling out and floating out the open window. Yes. Jason is the former praetor, ex of the Greek demigod. He visits to help build more shrines for the gods and action figures. They shake their head, causing more tufts of white to be lost to the wind. Former praetor Jason was at the stupid Greek camp for smelly children. They don't live long enough to drink. Stapler was stunned for a moment. Could this be his long-lost love? Gathering his courage, he finally asked, What was his last name? Emery hopped closer to the edge of the window they had perched on. Former praetor Jason's last name was Grace, awfully similar to Greece, but still. Stapler couldn't breathe. His beloved, his one true love, Jason Grace, was alive and had cheated on him? Stapler hopped over to Emery, anger and hurt echoing through him. Where is your legion located? If you could do one thing, it'd be finding Jason and making him explain exactly what he did. Emery leaned down and smiled. I can bring you there, free of charge. Friends at Emery get a 100% discount on Legion air travels. Stapler grinned gratefully. After all this time, he might be finally able to see Jason again, and he was going to kill that father-mocker for cheating on him. 0 out of 5 stars. Would not recommend Legion air travels. It sucked. Stapler felt like he was going to throw up the entire time. The good thing was that if he did vomit, it would just drop the 10,000 meters to the cold, hard ground. Closing his eyes, Stapler hugged closer to Emery, not wanting to risk falling off them. When they had finally landed, Stapler lay on the ground for a while, taking in the clear blue sky that was adorned with cotton candy-looking clouds floating through it. Remembering why he came here, Stapler sat up and looked around. Emery had gone to find the Avery, leaving him just outside a cafe. The coffee shop spilled out onto the surrounding streets, tables and chairs crowded with different patrons. Vines grew up against the walls, leafy plants providing a cozy atmosphere for the cafe. Determined to find his long-lost love, he travelled to the closest table. It was occupied with 2 girls. One wearing her hair in a braid with feathers, while wearing a cropped orange shirt that had sun-faded letters etched into it. The other wore a purple shirt with a matching cloak that had gold edges, complementing her hazel eyes. Stapler hopped up to them and asked, Do you know where Jason Grace is? The girls exchanged confused and guarded looks. The one in purple started to reach into her cloak, slightly revealing a sword. The one wearing orange spoke up. "I'll only ask once. What are you? And why are you looking for Jason?" Stapler drew himself tall, announcing, "I am Jason's boyfriend, and I'm here because I've learned that he's cheated on me." The girl who was unsheathing her sword stopped and blinked. "What the fuck?" The other girl just stared at Stapler. "Are you serious?" Miffed at their reactions, he nodded. "Of course." The teen in orange just sighed, muttering, "Why is my life so weird?" before looking at Stapler. "Well then, hey there, I guess. I'm Piper, and this is Prater Hazel." The girl, Piper, gestured to her friend, who gave a nod of acknowledgement. Smiling, he introduced himself. "Hi, I'm Stapler. Can you please now point me in the direction of Jason?" Hazel raised her eyebrows at his name, but said nothing, exchanging a look with Piper. After a minute of them staring, Piper sighed in defeat. "Yeah, okay, I can take you to him." Stapler grinned gratefully. "Thanks, Pipes." Her face contorts into a look of disgust and annoyance. "Please, do not ever call me that." "Sure thing," sing-song Stapler, turning left. "Lead the way." Sighing, Piper stood up and turned right towards the hill. "It's this way." "Yep, I knew that," called Stapler. Despite his happiness at finally being able to see his beloved once again, he felt conflicted. Jason had cheated on him with a girl, and been years since they had seen each other. Would he even remember him? As they travelled up the winding path, he asked Piper, "So, how do you know him?" She avoided meeting his eyes. "Well, it's a long story, but in short, he had lost his memories, woke up in a bus with me, and fought Mother Earth. And we dated." Stapler stilled. This was the other woman. Why would he do that?" he croaked out. Piper winced. "Hera, she manipulated our memories, making us think we had feelings for each other, but we didn't, so we broke up. I actually have a girlfriend now." He took everything she said in. "That's a lot. I need to have a talk with Jason." Piper nodded her head, quietly voicing her agreement. They walked up the rest of the way in silence, half-built temples lining the path. Piper stopped just before they reached the steps to a white patio. "He told me he was up there. Good luck, I guess? I'll give you guys some space." Stapler thanked her and swallowed. He slowly hopped up the steps, the freshly painted wood still glistening in the afternoon light. As he made it over the last step, he saw Jason Grace, his beloved. He was sitting on a red checkered rug, a spread of cakes and sandwiches, filling the space. He looked so familiar, but also so different. The scar on his lip had begun to fade, and many more now decorated his body. His hair was blonde and short. He had a tattoo on his left upper arm. Jason had obviously started to work out. His build square and muscular. He had also acquired a pair of black-rimmed sunglasses that suited his face perfectly. He wore a familiar purple shirt but had an orange hoodie lying next to him. As Stapler stared out, all he could think of was how much he had missed Jason. He called out to him, "Jason, my beloved!" As soon as Jason turned to look at him, a flash of panic and surprise crossed his face. Quickly, he flung his hoodie to his other side, clearly attempting to hide something. Hi Stapler, long time no see," said Jason, wincing. Stapler felt a sudden flash of anger. After all these years of sadness and longing, wishing and hoping that one day he could see his love again, but to have him react like this? And after cheating on him and clearly hiding someone else? Running over to Jason, past plates of delicacies, he tossed the hoodie from its place, revealing a brick wearing a tiny black bow tie. Not trying to hold in his emotions, Stapler screamed, "How could you? I was willing to forgive you for dating Piper, but this? How could you?" He felt warm, wet tears slide down his face, whether from anger or misery, he couldn't say. Jason looked away before he could respond, his voice loud and full of emotion. "We haven't seen each other for years. I found someone else. Not from some fake memories or from a fling from when I was 2. Brixie and I have something special." Stapler moved back, as if physically hurt by his statement. Jason took it as an opportunity to leave, grabbing Brixie and turning to face the exit of the patio. "Wait, please, can we just talk?" pleaded Stapler. While he was upset and mad at Jason, he didn't want it to end like this. Jason put Brixie under his arm and began to run down the steps and onto the path. Stapler attempted to follow him, but he was too slow. All he could do was watch as Jason and Brixie shared a passionate kiss before disappearing into the setting sun. Stapler sunk to his knees in despair. He would do anything to switch places with that brick. After all this time, Jason would even try to talk to him. He'd always hoped that Jason was still there, waiting for him, but no, this is how their relationship ends. Piper, who was coming back to check on Jason and the stapler, when she heard shouting, she stared in confusion at the star in front of her. Was that Jason making out with a brick wearing a bow tie? Turning the opposite direction, Piper walked away, praying to any gods listening that brain bleach was a thing. That is the end of Revelation for Lovers on AO3 by ThatRatCharliee. Please give the author the kudos that he deserves. And if you enjoyed, please subscribe to me on YouTube or Spotify or wherever you get me from. And make sure to comment if there's anything that you want me to podfic, any recommendations. I'm always open, as long as it's not explicit. Anyway, hope you have a wonderful day or night. Icarus out.